Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Mysticons, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hello.
Today, Delaney, April, and I are back to talk more Mysticons, Star-Crossed Sisters episode 22 that aired yesterday on Nicktoons. Mysticons is now airing 8 a.m. on Nicktoons on Saturdays. And we'll still be recapping it every week here at the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Overly Animated Mysticons on iTunes or YouTube or wherever, and subscribe to not miss any future Mysticons podcasts. Spoilers for this episode, Star-Crossed Sisters, but let's get into it. Delaney, what did you think of this episode?
I liked it. I don't know. This episode was a little weird. Okay, two twins unite, and then we have this really terrifying merge. What? The design's so weird. I'm really not over the legs. Arcana's legs are absurdly long, and you have this half-robed leg. What? Why? Why are y'all like this? But I liked the episode. I definitely don't think I liked it more than the previous episode, which kind of isn't great because I was really excited about this episode. I liked the montage of them bonding, which was nice. And the music, there was really good music in this episode. They had their own song. It was really great and cute. And then seeing Kimra is always great because Kimra's fun. I enjoy that we still have the My Little Pony, and we got the commercial at the end, which is cool. I liked it. I don't know. I think it was a little boring, but I still liked it. I like Mysticons, and there was music in it, so that always ups. Yay, there's a new song. So.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, thumbs up. April, what'd you think?
This episode was all right. It wasn't my favorite episode, and it wasn't that it was terrible. It was just all right. It seemed very uneventful, and as soon as they were Arcana was you can't cross the streams, I was well, we already know what's gonna happen this time, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I was I wonder.
So I mean, it was okay, and then the ending just felt very blah. It was okay, let's let it howl and all that jazz, and then that was the end of the episode, and then Proxima got sent away, and I was okay, yeah, I guess we're done with that.
It's really boring. She's gone.
Yeah, just like that. It was one episode. It's oh, Proxima's the twin, and then bye. Okay. So, but I mean, I liked the music too. It was really nice, and there were some small little moments that I enjoyed, but yeah, I mean, it's a meh episode for me.
Okay. I guess I disagree. I really like this one. I like this better than last week. I think that I kind of agree that the fusion is the worst aspect of the episode. It doesn't really do it. They don't really do anything with that. They kind of do more with Kimra and Tasma fuse than they do with Proxana. But I think Proxima and Arcana's bonding was excellent. This was a really good Proxima episode, definitely her best one. And then there's just a lot here. I think it's very funny, especially at the end of the episode. There's Auntie Yaga, and we get more information about her, and we get confirmation that Earth exists as a separate realm. These are big things. But most of all, the reason that this episode is great, Delaney, is because they're playing Pokemon Go the entire episode.
I do agree with that. I did like that they were playing Pokemon Go because that was funny.
Number one best the best thing about the episode.
Yeah, I have to go research
I do agree.
the apocalypse.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Obviously, the Mysticons Pokemon Go episode is my favorite, so anything else could have been great. Yeah. Astromancers are playing Pokemon Go, also Piper, and it's fabulous. There's this really funny sequence with the dwarf construction workers. There's a lot here.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good small moments, but overall, I was just very I guess unsatisfied. I don't know. I felt like they could have done so much more, and the show does do so much more.
Yeah, I think the plot of the episode, the fusion and then sending Proxima away, it doesn't matter that much. I mean, I think Proxima needs to go away because we need to explore Zarya being the actual twin. We'll talk about that, but it's I think just this episode is a good example of why Mysticons is so strong. There's so many surrounding, like secondary elements that make it great. But there wasn't like a lot of like Mysticons teamwork fight elements, moments that were great. Like the best thing is, as April mentioned, is Zarya saying, "Okay, girls, time to howl," and all that jazz. Which
that
I
was
like.
good.
Zarya's already done with their catchphrases. I like that.
She's over it.
Yeah. So I guess I get it from it's not the most exciting, and I do think we've been in a lull with this season. There's not a big driving force. There's not a big, there's not a ton of depth, narratively or emotionally with what's happening. And I think that that'll turn when we get to some of this twist stuff. But in the meantime, yeah, I think there's a lot here. Novataran was excellent. It's also a really good Malveron episode, maybe one of his best. It's just a lot of supporting characters I think shine in this. So, let's
nice seeing Tasma do something for once. Like that was kind of nice.
Yeah, another big Tasma episode. I didn't think Tasma did. I still think Tasma's like mostly uninteresting. Like she's kind of just generic villain here. She's subservient to Necrafa. It's also like Necrafa we're very much in the passive Necrafa stage of what's happening. And Tasma's been our main antagonistic force. I don't know. I'm still not loving what we're doing with Tasma. But yeah, we'll see. There's definitely more to come on that front. Let's talk Proxima and Arcana because, that's the framing of this episode is Arcana wants to get to know her twin better, supposed twin. Brief check-in. Delaney, where do you stand on Proxima being the twin versus the decoy?
Okay, at this point, since they literally united and became one single entity and nothing happened, we didn't even see the dragon this episode, I'm going to say she's not really the twin and it's Zarya. Though I really hope we don't get some weird fusion of Arcana and Zarya. Oh, we're also bearing the lead here of how we got Proxana.
Proxana, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
like, that was
Piper instantly
incredible.
got that name. Yeah, and then they all
immediately Piper, and then they continued to call them that throughout the episode, which was incredible.
Yeah, I think that was great.
Like this episode's just absurd. So yeah, I'm out. It's not Proxima. Like literally, they're like, "Oh, she's the twin." Bye. Like, no, that's not how that works. So it's not her, obviously.
Yeah, but Arcana and Zarya have been together the entire show. So I don't know.
They're not together. They don't know.
Yeah, I guess maybe they have to. Yeah. April, where do you stand?
I'm still on the side where Proxima is not the twin. Like. I don't know, even like this episode sort of solidified that more for me because they were just like, cool, we're just gonna send her away, like, bye. Like, I don't know. And they didn't really seem to like bond all that much, and I just no, it's Zarya. It's gotta be Zarya. There's no way.
Yeah. I think it's definitely Zarya, and we will find out in the season finale, which are 25 and 26. So and we might. Do we think Proxima's coming back? When? Do we think she'll be back for the finale? Only two more episodes. Do you think she's written off longer than that?
But I can't think of why she would come back or like what would bring her back.
Well, if Necrafa is going to if Necrafa thinks she's uniting the twins, she needs Proxima now because Necrafa doesn't know. No one knows that it's Zarya at this point. If it is Zarya, so
maybe Tasma captures Proxima.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get a Tasma going to Earth plotline. How about that?
In Arizona.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
I don't know if we'll see that again. But yeah, Delaney, when's Proxima back?
Never.
Never?
She's never coming back.
No, okay, gone forever. I am still very interested in what we're doing with Proxima because she's the decoy / the twin in this season, but her role in season 3, I think there's a lot of options here. Still very, 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 that's maybe my number one thing that I'm wondering about, like with what we're doing in season 3 with her. Okay. But yeah.
If we do anything with her, I'm starting to just feel like it's all been like it's a huge joke now. 'Cause I felt like we were like, it was so intriguing for them to introduce her, and then they've basically done nothing with her, and now she's the twin, but then, and we're like, okay, like she's something, but now she's gone. So it's like she was just like that stand-in character to create some kind of drama.
Yeah, and I think that's what's interesting is that's her
And she
role for
spent the
now.
whole episode being like, I'm jealous because you're a princess. Like, that is so boring.
So she's the decoy role, and then, but we know we have more show after this, and I think that this is not the type of show to just introduce the character in the finale, have her be the decoy, and then write her off as a red herring. I think that she's like gonna felt written off, like she has this arc where she thinks that she's royalty, and then she's not, and like how she reacts to that. That's like what I'm anticipating is gonna happen. I think there's potential. Anyway, Proxima and Arcana bonding in this episode. So we mentioned the montage of them. We got a new song, Been There, Done That by Etch is the name. If you Google that, the Spotify or the SoundCloud will be the first result and you can listen to it there. And it like comes back later too, which I thought was a good choice. And, they drink snort balls. They go magic purse shopping. They go to Sky Pies. They go to the an aquarium. We see another Foz fish, and then they get brain freezes from eating ice cream. All the best hits, and they do all that in an hour. So I think that's good. Good job, them. And then they are
also rude that Proxima just kept checking her watch the whole time.
Like, yeah, worst date ever.
Worst date ever. She might as well have been on her phone.
Aw, no, they bonded. It was great, and they went stargazing. Proxima's like upset about when Arcana brings up her mom, and we learn about that later. But
Arcana didn't bring up her mom. She asked about her. Like, I feel like she set herself up to be upset, in my opinion.
There's a lot going on in Proxima's life right now. Okay, this is a difficult change for her, and she's handling it the best she can. Later she says, "I'm not jealous you're a princess. I'm jealous you got her to the currently Bones mom." Sad because she grew up an orphan, and this is Proxima's arc right now, I guess. So. I was feeling for her, guys.
Is sad.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
sad. So I like that aspect. And then we have the teleportation bracelets. And then they get fused, and how about what this does for Arcana's character? April, how do you think Arcana came across this episode?
I don't feel like we've developed her into. I mean, she had moments where she was like, "Oh, like you're a real human being who cares about other people," but then like she still seemed very like, I guess, princess like, or that princess stereotype. Like she sort of betrayed. Well, I say betrayed, but she sort of tricked M and then ran off, and then like her attitude towards Proxima, like she was very quick to sort of revert back into that Arcana that we know, who's like, I guess snobby is the best way to put it. But then she would like find her way back to herself again. I don't know. I think that's another problem that I had with the episode too, was because she seemed like, she was like developing into this better person, but then she would go back to being like, well, I'm the princess or whatever kind of thing. So I don't know. I wasn't like too into Arcana this episode. I definitely think all the other characters like stood out much more than she did.
Yeah, I don't think she like pops, but I think that I like her desire to bond with her sister, and I feel like she comes across more sympathetically than normal.
She does, but they came in like small waves where like she was talking about. She was just like, why are you so jealous? And she was just, but then she was just like, oh, well, like, I wasn't trying to, like, say that, like, whenever Proxima was like, you're just some spoiled princess, and I'm just this poor orphan kind of thing. And then she would have a moment and she was like, no, it's not that way. Like, those were nice moments for her to have, I guess, to sort of help develop her character, but it just seems like we're developing her character so slowly. Kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the Arcana arc, and I feel like we're in kind of a middle stage, and we need the whatever shoe's gonna drop to really get where we're going with her. But I do think she's more engaging these past 5 or so episodes than she definitely was before. So I think we're on the right track.
for sure.
Yeah, I like all of those moments with Proxima Arcana, then they're fused. How do we think they visually represented the fusions? It's kind of like half of their bodies sewn together, their clothes were like actual together.
It was super weird, like the robe and like the leg. I couldn't get over it. And then like the green belt, it was visually striking, but also disturbing.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It's like I didn't expect fusion from the show, not in Steven Universe. Yeah.
I think I wrote something about that.
Yeah. And then the Proxima and Arcana are hugging at the end, so they're good. It's like, do you still have mixed feelings about me after the Proxima's reflection log diary scene in the beginning with the color coded quill, which I liked.
Yeah, I really liked that too, and it was like really like sweet.
Yeah, and that was good because we saw Arcana doing this before a while ago. Proxima says to the quill, "You dispense ink, not opinions."
That was good.
I think Proxima's pretty funny. These
I
last
agree.
episodes.
I think so too.
She's like a great like straight man character. But yeah, I think Proxima's voice actress does a great job, and that character's been pretty quality. Yeah, so that's like the main thing here. We send Proxima away. That definitely happened fast. But I think it's into the service of whatever larger narrative we're doing. So I think it's like a to be determined. Let's talk. I want to talk Pokemon Go. I can't wait any longer.
You can't. This is the podcast. This is it.
So they're playing Beastie Blasters, which I think was the Yu-Gi-Oh thing that we thought they were doing 2 episodes ago. And it's not Yu-Gi-Oh, or maybe it's combined.
Apparently it's everything. They're just gonna make it whatever they want, which I'm fine with, honestly.
Yeah,
it started off as a Yu-Gi-Oh card game, but now it's like a Pokemon Go app on their phone.
I mean, Pokemon was also a card game, so I guess this is Beastie Blasters.
Well, yeah.
Is just Pokemon in general. Yeah.
It's touching on all of our childhood memories.
This is an example of animation referencing something that was definitely current when they were writing it, and is now not as current. It's like the Rick and Morty doing the the Mad Max episode, and then it's like that airs 2 years later. But I still very occasionally play Pokemon Go, and it's the VR phone app game, if you're unfamiliar. Piper starts by playing it, and I like, my favorite aspect, Delaney, is that they reference actual Pokemon Go terms, specifically Nest. We get that in there.
Yes.
And Checkpoint, which is kind of similar. But
it's like they're like, this is clearly Pokemon Go. I want you to make sure you know that we know it's Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Beastie Checkpoint. Full nest of Starfazia. And we got Stargoyle, Starfazia, and Fumertiggle as our beasties.
I also enjoyed that the monsters were like monsters that were like real for them, because what was the first one that Piper was?
Yeah, Stargoyle, and they have gargoyles in this world.
And then like the guards were like, "What? Where?" kind of thing.
That was the best.
Yeah.
They're terrible. I love it.
Good VR jokes, yeah. And I think the best use is when Novaterran is supposed to be. There's a very good Novaterran episode, and he's talking to Proxana, but he just sees Proxima. He's like playing Beastie Blasters. He says, "I was just researching the apocalypse." Classic.
I like
Novaterran
the
line.
apocalypse. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, that's the excuse you came up with. Yeah.
It's not outside of his character.
So he said, an old flame once said I needed to open my heart, when that comes back later. He says, princess's blood is a minotaur, and Arcana's like, at least I don't smell like one. I think Arcana was like really funny off screen in this too. She can't control herself. At least I don't smell like one. And Proxima's cover is, I smell Fumertiggle. So does this mean that VR in their world actually has smell? That's my question. Like, can their phones dispense scents?
Can their phones dispense scents?
Isn't that like 4D technology? Isn't that what's happening?
Is that for? Oh, I guess that is 4D.
It's like joke 4D or something. But yeah, and then Novaterran's like, I can complete my collection. I'm just off to research the apocalypse. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
So is that just all Novateron does? Research the apocalypse because that's his excuse activity?
Well, I think it's like almost like they're self-aware of his character because in an earlier episode they're like, "Man, that guy's really obsessed with the apocalypse." Like,
everyone's aware of it, but apparently he is. Maybe he's just low key very aware of other people's perceptions of him, and he's. But no, he's definitely not. He's just stupid.
He's just dumb.
But yeah, back to the Pokemon Go. I think this is the perfect type of joke for the show to make because the show like embraces modern technology. It's set in an urban environment, and they reference glyphing and they have their phones out and stuff. So this is a perfect thing for the show to do. More of this.
More of this.
Also, just keep playing Pokemon Go the rest of the series, please. Like, let's
just all of it. Just Pokemon Go all the time.
No matter where they are, like whatever realm.
Yeah, they go to Earth and then they're actually playing Pokemon Go. Will they have Beastie Blasters checkpoints on Earth? That's my question.
Ooh.
Okay, but maybe we're bearing the lead here because ship confirmed in this episode. It is Auntie Yaga and Novateron.
I like what I just why
did you see this coming, Delaney?
Like I didn't even like the fact that her being like in the van and being like, ooh, whatever his name is. And then I think it's like Fate Master. Like
Fate
how
Master
is that?
888, yeah.
Oh
The fact that was supposed to be foreshadowing is horrific to me. Like
I didn't
oh my
catch that
God.
until the second time and I died. I was like, no.
Why? Just no.
Yeah. So you're not shipping it? That's what you're saying?
Yes, she deserves so much better. They did break up, that's true.
I also enjoyed that like neither one of them wanted to take fault for the breakup. They're like, but she broke up with me, but he broke up with me.
None of that made sense. Like that's not how that works.
It's not how this works, guys.
Yeah,
You're
apparently
supposed to be the strong one.
So yeah, Auntie Yaga has been established as a minor demigod, and then Novateron is immortal. So I guess they're a good match in that regard.
But it didn't work out.
He's
not open to love or something like that.
Yeah,
he's not. I don't even remember. Like,
Yaga says he broke up with me because I had anger issues. And then Novateron says you broke up with me because I was emotionally unavailable. And then they're doing like the eyebrows thing, and Piper's like, ugh, gross. Sorry to interrupt the eyeball kissing.
I liked eyeball kissing. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked that one too.
Also, Auntie Yaga, he calls her Geraldine. Maybe that's her first name.
What?
Geraldine
like,
Yaga. That's I don't know if that's
or that's just her username on Made.
Right.
Match,
I thought
it was called.
I thought those were the two possibilities. That's either her username or
maybe
her
that's
name.
what she goes by on Earth or something like that.
She probably has a lot of pseudonyms. Yeah, I agree. And they met on Mage Match. That's good. So, April, are you supporting this relationship?
If they'll both be happy in the end, I suppose. But I do agree that Auntie Yaga deserves way better, like, because she is amazing. She is wonderful. She's a demigod. Come on now.
Novateron's the head of the Astromancers. That's pretty good.
Right, but he's obsessed with the apocalypse, so I feel like that's just going to get in the way of their relationship, and they'll fight about it in the kitchen while she's like...
In the kitchen.
I'm just setting up the scene now.
Writing fan fiction right here.
All you ever do is research the apocalypse and play Beastie Blasters, but what about me? See, it's duped.
Would Auntie Yaga play Beastie Blasters? I don't know.
She might try it just for him, but she's just not that into it like he is.
Yeah.
And he'll never want to go to Arizona.
Yeah, we see Auntie Yaga in the beginning when Malveron calls her, and she's in Earth. We see Earth in this episode, and in the realm of Earth. Okay, first of all, what do we think about introducing Earth into Mysticons here? It's another realm. Will we ever go to Earth, Delaney, in this show?
I don't think so. I think its sole purpose was to like be a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. But Proxima, one of our main characters is there right now, Proxima.
We don't know which realm Auntie Yaga was going to take her to.
No, they said taking her to Earth. Yeah. She says at the end, you're going to love Earth. They have the most magical substance in the Cosmoverse. They call it frozen yogurt.
That's right. I remember that now. My brain will work.
This frozen yogurt gag for me very reminiscent of The Good Place, which did a similar, like, frozen yogurt is like the number one thing people think about with humanity. So I don't know why we're making all these frozen yogurt jokes, but it's that was good. And when we see Antiaga on Earth, there's like an alien crossing sign. I didn't know what specifically that was, but my theory is that she's at Roswell.
That would be my guess too.
Yeah, so she's driven from Arizona to New Mexico is what I think, which makes sense in her camper. So maybe Proxima's going back to New Mexico with her because that's where we last saw her.
Yeah, because maybe she didn't get to explore Roswell as much as she would have liked. She was interrupted.
If different realms exist and people can just go to Earth, wouldn't the concept of aliens on Earth be different? I think that's what we need to discuss. Or do they have to enforce a standard of conduct where they can't make humans aware of the existence of the different realms?
Probably that. Okay. They're like, humans can't grasp this concept yet. Just wait 1,000 years.
I'm glad
they'll still be around.
I'm glad we got in the analysis of that. So Yaga Anti separates Proxena. Mm-hmm. Here's my issue with being able to call on her to solve unsolvable magic problems is why don't we just say, Yaga, why don't you kill Necropha for us? If she's a demigod, and she's willing to help, why doesn't she just take out Necropha?
She's so OP. Oh, maybe she's, cause doesn't she know she's she knows the past, the present, and the future. And so maybe she's like, I have to stay out of this because I know too much kind of thing. So maybe she just has faith that they'll figure it out.
So she's a Time Lord and it's a fixed point in time is what you're saying, Necropha coming.
Oh my god.
That's I think she does say that in her first episode.
Yeah, so that's all that I can assume is that she's just like, you know what? It's not my place to get involved unless I absolutely have to kind of thing. Look, I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because you're right. She could easily just be like, Necropha, no. Back to timeout with you.
What's
Necropha?
No.
April, what's Yaga's D&D alignment? Is she neutral? Good? I think she's probably neutral. She doesn't seem to actively want to help.
She's neutral for sure.
Chaotic neutral, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say chaotic neutral because she just does whatever she wants.
But she helps out when Malvron calls her, and also when her former flame, Novateron, calls her.
Right? God, those two sort of aligned. How convenient that he also reached out to her.
She could be chaotic good. I don't know. We haven't seen her do. She seems neutral, though, because she just wants to explore Earth. She's a demigod, and she goes to Earth, really. That's her.
Yeah.
That's what she's like, yeah.
She's like, this is what I'm about. But she also knows that there's evil, so, I can't say she aligns with good because she's not trying to stop the evil, so...
Yeah.
She's very neutral.
I think so. I think neutral, yeah. Okay, when are we going to see Yaga again? Hopefully soon. I mean, whenever Proxima comes back, probably.
I didn't think you were going to see her, so I was really hyped to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pleasant surprise.
I think that's one of the strongest parts, yeah. Okay, other quick hits from the episode. I mentioned this dwarf construction worker scene. We've seen them before randomly commenting on things, but I think this is the best example. He says, the ladies are going to dig my sweet new set of wheels, and then beat, and then Tasma camera stomps on it, and then another one says, you're going to have to lease a personality.
That was the best. That was so funny. Oh my god, that was so mean.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It was great.
I did think that was the funniest line in the episode.
It was so funny.
It was a great
You'll have to lease a personality. Ow.
I also really enjoyed that, whenever Tasma and Kimra were fused and they were climbing up the tower and Tasma was commenting on how she smells and Kimra was like, Kimra used more scented bath salts.
Yeah. Yeah, possessed Kimra was very good. That was a good line. Yes, Tasma, Kimra use more scented bath soaps. Yeah, and then later she calls Tasma's so smelly. So good payback there. We had this weird exchange. So I mentioned it was a great Malvron episode. So two lines. First of all, he says, "Could you have made it any easier for Necropha to nab both of you?" when he sees the two of them fused, which I thought was a good observation.
Yes.
And then later, he actually gets in on the action, which I think is something that's been lacking for his character. So he gets knocked down and he falls on top of the motorcycle and then rides it back. And Zarya says, "Whoa, looking good." And he says, "You should see me on a dragon."
Oh yeah.
So that means dragons are a thing.
Well, was Zarya flirting with Malveron?
Right.
First
so
off?
it was a very flirty exchange in general.
Yes. Okay. I'm
fake
glad someone
news.
else thought that too.
Fake news.
They're trying to throw us off the path. They're like,
it's not real.
Delaney, April, and Dylan are too close to the truth.
Yeah, I mean, Zarya said, "Whoa, looking good." I think that fits with her character. She'd be impressed with Malveron commandeering a motorcycle.
I think so, considering that Malveron never does anything. So
yeah, so I think that fits. But then he says, "You should see me on a dragon." It sounded flirty, but
it was very flirty.
Like, let's not ship Zarya and Malveron, please.
No,
not a thing.
I'm not shipping it, but like. There were other like lines that they could have used. Like Zarya could have said like, "Oh, nice ride," but she was like, "Oh, you look really good on that." Like, no, those are two. They're not the same. I can't.
It was a weird exchange, but just the conclusion is don't ship that. That's the wrong ship.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Backing the wrong horse there.
That ship.
Yeah. Other good Zarya lines. She sees the Proxima fighting. She says, "This is totally going on the ethereal net." So let's talk about the ethereal net.
Let's talk about it.
What is that a word for? Because it sounds like Ethernet. My read is that just is the World Wide Web, is the ethereal net.
That was my read. It's like Gemini. The internet.
Yeah. But it could be a specific thing that she's posting it to, like a specific site or subset of the internet. I don't know. That was good. We mentioned the "Okay, girls, time to howl" and all that jazz. So that was good.
Also, Zarya was kind of playing that like leader role again because okay. So something else that really bothered me is Proxima is not smart because she should have easily been able to figure out that Arcana is the dragon mage. And
table that for a second. I agree. Okay. Proxima was the I agree Zarya was playing the leader role. She says protect Proxima. That was kind of like the mission statement for the fight that they had initially when Tasma comes. So
well, and even whenever like she came back to the castle tower, whatever it is, I never know. And she was just like, "Chaco, you're on pigeon duty." Like she was just like giving orders out, and I was like, Zarya.
She was ready. I like how she was immediately ready to deal with this issue that M was a statue, and she's like, "Okay, what we need to do is keep the pigeons away." I enjoyed that part.
She knew his Arcana instantly, and Chaco on pigeon patrol was great. Yes. Scaring them away. Okay, back to Proxima not figuring out that it's Arcana's dragon mage. Steve was very upset that Arcana did not reveal her identity to her sister. Now,
same. I was mad the whole time.
Yeah, we need to understand why we would be mad about this. You need to know the context that we cover a lot of secret identity shows, and we get very frustrated that Miraculous Ladybug and others do not reveal them. So, the
show hasn't cared about secret identities. Zarya showed Kitty,
Zarya showed Kitty, which I still think. So the reason I maybe like not telling Proxima is because it preserves the powerfulness of the Zarya showing Kitty scene. It's like that was like such a strong relationship that was special. And not even like new twin sister can have the identity revealed too. But it was weird that the show doesn't even address it. It's like it doesn't never even hints that she would be she would tell her that she's dragon mage. The only time is like when they show up in their lair and everyone else is in their Mysticon form and she's just herself, also in the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
But yeah, was it actively annoying for you, Delaney?
Yes, because there were multiple points in the episode where I was like, she's going to do it, and then she didn't do it. And I was like, she's going to do it, and then she didn't do it. And I was very mad about it.
Yeah. Will Proxima ever know?
I don't think so. I feel like this is further evidence that this is just a fake and like Proxima doesn't really matter, which is kind of annoying because I'm starting to like her and they just sent her away.
I would say trust the show on this one. I don't think they're gonna make Proxima a legitimate character and then just get rid of her. I think she will have a significant role.
Well, she's gonna come back specifically so that we can learn that Zarya is the actual twin.
Well, that obviously, and then beyond that, I still think she's doing something. I have no evidence of this. I'm just convinced.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Twinkly Mare in this episode. Kimra was very concerned about Twinkly Mare. And
I appreciated that she, at the beginning of the episode, she was having a nightmare that Tasma was going to steal her Twinkly Mare, and then Tasma shows up. Like, I was like, oh no, poor thing.
Yeah. Kimra is precious here. She didn't even hurt Tasma. She's just like, Twinkly Mare, you pissed off Twinkly Mare, you're gonna get it now. Yeah. Kimra, precious. Other notes. I know this is a random line, but Proxima at one point is like, I can't accept this gift. Astromancers can't accept gifts, is what she was gonna say. Which sounds like federal government employees. So it makes me think that she's. We were kind of debating on the Discord, like, what are the Astromancers? It's kind of not clear, and my impression is that they're more of a governing agency. So like,
they're like the FCC.
Like this supports that they're like a government of some sort. Like, I'm like, they're the Ministry of Magic. Like, that's what I think the Astromancers are, but it's kind of not clear. They're just like a protector organization. That's another option. They're obviously, there's a school in there, so I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll see if we get more into the Astromancers. But other things, we learned that the Codex was drained by Necropha.
Oh yeah,
which explains like things that happened.
Right, I think that explains why we're not instantly deboning the parents. That's
that makes sense, but also I feel like they could have told us that.
Yeah. This is a pretty casual reveal of this.
Yeah, it was super casual because, like, as much as I hated, the whole, like, we have to debone my parents thing, like, there was still part of me that was just like, okay, we sort of tossed that aside, like, super quick. Not that, I'm complaining, but at the same time, it's like, but what happened to that?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Now we know.
I agree. We had the theme music during the fight when we're trying to take out the talisman. I like that.
That was nice. That's a good use of the theme song.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
We also didn't have a transformation sequence, so that was
kind of... two episodes in a row without a real one. It was great. More of this. Okay. That's all I've written down. Any other things from the episode, or in what you think overall, Delaney?
Other stuff from the episode. It was pretty. It was okay. I don't remember, like, I can't think of, like, anything that was really standout that we haven't talked about. Like, I liked the episode. It was okay. I don't think it was, like, the best. It was just a really absurd episode, but it was, like, well executed and it was funny. So, like, it's still good. I still love Mysticons.
Yeah. April.
Yeah. It was an alright episode. It's not the best. Like, I'm not gonna, like, rant, go raving on about how you have to watch this episode. Even though, like, it was supposed to be, I guess, like a plot episode, and it felt very fillerish. So, but it's good. I guess we're going places. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was higher on this. I like it. I think it's a good one. I think we've been in a non super exciting place within the season. I don't know what's driving us, especially when we've relegated Proxima now. I'm not sure what's driving the next two episodes, but. We know we have the finale coming, so excited about that. And next week is Scream of the Banshee. The leader of a popular boy band hires the Mysticons to protect him from an obsessive fan outrage. Yeah, and we got the preview. It is Gnomes to Men confirmed, and
it is confirmed.
Also, he looks like an actual garden gnome, so
I'm excited.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, and there's a banshee, so I'm interested to see if the banshee is like a new species, if this is like something turned into it. But yeah, we'll see next week.
I'm a good one.
Okay. I'm glad we're hyped for the boy band episode. But let us know what you thought of this episode, what you think is coming next week, and talk about it with us on Discord, overlyanimated.com/Discord. That's the place for Mysticons discussion. Also, plug for the Mysticons subreddit, reddit.com/r/Mysticons, unrelated to this podcast, but I have like a discussion thread up there each week. And leave comments on YouTube or overlyanimated.com about what you thought of everything else. Find everything at overlyanimated.com. Consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Phoenician, AK Fusion. Fusion, yeah, we had Fusion in this episode. How appropriate. That was for Steven Universe, but also applies here, that nickname. Thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, Andy, and Hugh. Check out a bunch of other podcasts at overlyanimated.com, including we had the Ruby season finale discussion that went 90 minutes. It was great.
Oh my God.
Delaney's like, I really missed it. I'm so upset that I wasn't on that 90-minute Ruby podcast.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Also upset.
Yeah. We have a big Miraculous Ladybug episode coming soon. We'll have that posted as soon as we can. We have, Beatrice and I did a Mary and the Witch's Flower review. Check that out. And also they did a Sailor Moon podcast. Check all that out at overlyanimated.com. We'll be back next weekend to discuss more Mysticons. Thanks very much, guys, for listening. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.